And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another broadcast here on the CranKy Ducklings. I'm of course VIP. With me, I'm joined by the people in the chat and these amazing players as well. Welcome to the OSC mid-season playoffs number 2. Oh boy, it's been a long year. It's been a long season of OSC events. For those that are curious, OSC, they partner with many, if not all, online tournaments out there, except for EPT related events, of course, and WTL. But outside of that, online tournaments have been awarding points to players throughout the entire season, and now we are here towards the end, here at covering portions of the bracket until we get to the end, until we get to the finals, of course. Oh boy. Here we go. So we have, again, a massive array of players available here. Let's actually have a look at the bracket. Oh, we have the technology, Pappy. Let's go. Let's switch our scenes over here and have a look at that bracket. From the top, we have, oh boy, our 38 players. Trying to zoom in here. There we go. 20 Protoss. Oh boy, we have double the amount of Protoss that we have any other race, which, I mean, that makes sense. You know, the pro scene is very Protoss heavy, so it shouldn't be a surprise to you. We have Arts, we have, not to be confused with other Arts, we have Azura, we have DNS, we have Jimmy, Geralt, HiGhDrA, Christiana, Lancer, Mana, Max Pax, Middle VK, Nightmare, Night Phoenix, Pappy, Rostock, Shameless, Skillet, Spats, and Jomek as our lineup of Protoss players. Meanwhile, we have 9 Terrans in Baby Marine, Beyond, Future, Honmono, Milky Cow, Moja, Nicorect, Quanta, and Spirit. And for Zerg, we have another 9 as well. We have Cham, Demi, DRG, Eva, Miyamaika, Nikic, Shin, Wayne, and Young Yako. Oh boy. Yeah, this is basically all the players that did aggregate enough points throughout the season of OSC in online events to take part in this tournament. So the big names, of course, coming into this have to be Max Pax from Protoss. I would say Max Pax and Skillis as the massive Protoss players to make a deep run in this event. Likewise, we have Björn and the Spirit as well here for Terran. Likewise, we have DRG and Shin alongside, you know, Wayne, your Young Yakovs, your Quantas, your Hormonos, Future, Baby, alongside all these other players that can, of course, cause upsets. Nightmare's there as well. I can't forget Nightmare. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be an amazing event, I'm sure. Again, the bracket is huge. The bracket is massive. As you can see here, 38 players, full double elimination, and it's gonna last a couple of weeks to go over. So it's gonna be a long event. It's gonna be a long event. And for today, we have the first round. We have the very first round here. It is gonna be 7 best of 3s. We have 7 best of 3s before us. Up first, we're going to be going through Future versus HiGhDrA, followed by Eba versus Moja, Shin versus Rostock, DRG versus Jimmy, Nicorect versus Nikic, Wayne versus Middle VK, and DNS versus Shameless at the end of the night. So 7 best of 3s in total here to go through the first round. As a reminder as well, I believe no one is going to be eliminated. I believe because of the lower brackets, they still have a second life. So no one is getting knocked out of the tournament yet. We will still be handing out, of course, these second lives, these second chances to the losing players here tonight. So no elimination for the time being. Oh boy. Is Beyond playing today? I don't believe he... Not today. I didn't list him. So not today, but I'm sure he'll be playing later on. I'm sure. Don't you worry. Oh, F's in the chat? Oh my god. Calm down. You're scaring me. Oh my god. But yeah, with that, we are going to be jumping in. He's not today. Or maybe in another tournament, I guess, if that's what you're asking. But for now, we have Future versus HiGhDrA. They are facing off here tonight in the first best of 3 in this first TvP. Let's jump on in. Let us jump in. As the first game is going to be on Oceanborn. Let's go. And again, I always love casting Future. Future is not the most active of players in these online tournaments, so we very rarely get to cast him. He spent a lot of time in Korea this year, and now we are jumping back in and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Oceanborn. We have the red Protoss player from the land of the Netherlands. It is HiGhDrA. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the yellow Terran player from the land of the Americas representing Maturino Esports. It is a Future. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is, Pappy. Oh my god, it is time for those... Oh, I should, hold on, fix up the name here. There we go. It is time for predictions. Predictions are open in the chat for the next 2 minutes. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Oh my god, as we already start things off with a bit of a cheeky proxy here on the right hand side. Again, Future, he comes up with his own builds. What I love about Future, he's very creative. He does come up with his own builds. He's very unorthodox in that way. He can play standard, that is true, but very often he does his own unique twist to things. And it does work at the highest level of play. So for example, as we have to get rid of the turtle. This is not the Tenacious Turtle Tussle. We were casting that yesterday, featuring HiGhDrA as well yesterday as well. So we'll have to get rid of the turtle. I appreciate you there, Pappy. Appreciate you. Let's go. But for example, Future, he goes for eBay blocks in TvZ. He goes for its own variation of 2 racks openers as well. 2 racks, not Reaper, but 2 racks Marine, for example. But we're here in a Terran versus Protoss matchup instead. And for now, it's just the singular racks. We're not committing into any additional racks. Double gas has been taken, and it is just going to be the initial Reaper here from Future into, I imagine, a factory back at home. Meanwhile, HiGhDrA does scout. He is fully aware that the Rax is missing. He doesn't know where it is, but he's aware that he's potentially under threat. There we go. We have the bunker on the low ground. This bunker is within range of the mineral line. The goal here is to deny mining on the low ground, is to make sure that there are no workers mining whatsoever, at least until the bunker is dealt with. Likewise, we should be throwing down a shield battery momentarily, but because of the placement of the bunker, I believe it should be within range of the shield battery as well. The SCV is under fire. Ooh, taking a lot of hits. Up. Oh my god, taking a lot of damage. The bunker is going to be denied. Some rough RNG there. The SCV's one shot. Automas! One shot away, but it barely does survive. We'll finish off the bunker. Again, as we mentioned, shield battery's in the range. Oh no! Never mind, the bunker is denied. HiGhDrA pumping up. He shuts down the SCV, shuts down the bunker. And with that, there's a rough start for Future. Ay. Reaper will dip in, will get 1 probe so far, just the 1 worker, and the initial proxy is being shut down. Also, this is bothering me a little bit. Because only the Cyber Core has a skin active, not the gateway. It's it's fine, Papi, it's fine. Este HiGhDrA. But yeah, behind this, Future is floating back home, he's racing back, expanding. Of course, it was a factory post racks into the CC on the high ground and settling into a longer game. But HiGhDrA is looking quite secure. Quite secure. Oh, welcome, Sirius Black. You came first. Easy. As it is going to be a robo opener out of HiGhDrA. If you were here yesterday, then you would know. You'd be fully aware that HiGhDrA was very fond of these robo openers. He did have them on full display against Vindicta in last night's Tenacious Turtle Tussle. Here against Future, doing the same. Meanwhile, the initial Cyclone has arrived, getting a lock on and getting some hits off on that Stalker, getting a bit of hull damage. Not much more than that, so the Reaper is going to be shut down. There's no way out! Yeah, no way out here. The Reaper will be shut down. Future is going to be forced back. Now, when it comes to this robo opener, there's a couple different ways you can approach this with the Observer first. This should be for a faster Bane to faster Colossus production. This could go into a fast War Prism to harass across the map, but I'm leaning towards a Bane to Colossus into just a more defensive start here from HiGhDrA. A way to turtle up, a way to be defensive, and in a way relinquish map control. It does mean that drop play is going to be a little bit more difficult to deal with, and speaking of, here comes the initial drop. Do you have that one-on-one follow-up into that Widowmine drop? The Observer does spot the Cyclone, and I believe caught a glimpse of the Widowmine drop as well. So HiGhDrA, he may have caught a glimpse. Yeah, there we go. He's getting in position. Stalkers, ooh, they missed the medevac, but they will zone away that Cyclone. Drop is coming into the natural, though. Does drop in. Poison being pulled away. Good reaction so far here from HiGhDrA. Does pull away. Meanwhile, drop into the main. 2 Widowmine shot has still yet to go off. And in the main base, oh, we do pull away in time. 1 probe kill in the main. 3rd base is delayed. The Bay is in production. We get 2 probe kills in total, and there's that Bay. We spoke about it before. With a robo opener, it leads into fast Bay, into fast Colossus. Now, what this does is it keeps you safe against early game bio pushes and early game aggression. Once you get your first 1, 2 Colossus up and running, then HiGhDrA is going to be very safe and secure. The downside, no Blink Stalkers, no Phoenixes. It means that this medevac is going to be safe and sound. Like, drop play is harder to deal with and harder to clean up. Likewise, it's harder to be, or I mean, it's impossible to be active on the map and be aggressive and threaten the main and try to catch workers and deal any kind of pressure here. So Future is safe at home. As a result, typically against this kind of opener, you do want to cut some corners and be greedy yourself as a Terran player. Like if your opponent's being defensive, you take advantage of that, at least you try to. We'll see how Future does approach this, but now just building up his own biotank army. He's very well set up defensively here, but again, there's nothing coming his way. Future did scout the tech, did see the Bay and the Robo, so is fully aware of the opener. And we'll see if Future can try and move out across the map. I mean, again, by the time he does, there should be Colossus. Multiple. First one is out, second one is on the way. So just really safe play here from HiGhDrA. Meanwhile, third base getting up and running, has been thrown down. What I will say is that this third base was delayed. If you recall, it was a Bay before third. This third just now got thrown down. So economically, HiGhDrA doesn't really have much of an edge over his opponents. Again, HiGhDrA playing more safer than anything. Against Future, I guess it makes sense. Does make sense. Here we go. As the Raven is moving out. He plays very rarely. Last night came in second in total tussle. What? You mean Vindicta? Oh no, okay. Oh yeah, people are talking about Vindicta. Miguelito, Papa, Miguelito. Did cost him yesterday, true. Mate, yesterday he popped off. Like Migs, he popped off in TvP specifically. Took down a lot of Protoss players. He took down HiGhDrA, took down Shameless. I rate Shameless quite highly, so that was a very impressive performance out of Migs. As the Colossus do push in. Oh my god, the swipes are insane. Very nice catch by HiGhDrA. There's a lot of Marines going down. Future slowly pushing forward. But again, this choke point is brutal. And the power Colossus. Meanwhile, one Colossus is going to be going down. Yeah, massive dive here. We get one, we get two Colossus. The force fields were misplaced. We had to wall off. Yeah, with the misplaced force fields, Future, he breaks on through, and now he can go for the kill. I say that there's only 2 Marauders left, but that was a very good trade for Future. Yeah, very nicely done. Initially, the defense was going well for HiGhDrA. If you remember, he was able to force field, he was able to swipe away, kill a lot of Marines, but barely was off center with that next force field. And with that, HiGhDRA's in a lot of trouble. The reason why I say this is because the whole purpose of this build, and we're just committing. Yeah, we're just committing here. The whole point of this build was build up Colossus early on. And now he doesn't have any. Now no Colossus. The tech was delayed. The economy was delayed. Everything was delayed for the Colossus. And now there's only one left. There's only one left. Future, he sims on in. Force fields will delay for the time being, but Future, he rotates towards the left-hand side. Does rotate. Trying to catch out the army. There's maybe one force field in the chamber. There's a shield battery. Oh, no, never mind. No shield batteries. No shield batteries. No overcharge. Ay, ay, ay. And HiGhDRA's up against the wall. Second Colossus has arrived. Like barely squeezing out these Colossi. Is it enough? Big tank shots going up as well. And nice connections on the sentries. Behind this, Future on 3cc. On a secure economy. And it looks like Future is going to back up. Okay, HiGhDrA, he's bought enough time. Charge is just finished. Charge just finished up. We have 1-1 done as well. HiGhDrA has made it. Unfortunately, has no counterattack potential. Like, this army is still so small and so fragile. Can defend at home because of the shield batteries and the overcharge, that's true. But moving out, that's another story. And Future is still pushing in. He's still not backing off. Gonna be rotating around. I mean, again, if he's able to get within range of this army with those tanks, then maybe Future can break this position. But now we're up to 3 Colossus. 3 Colossus for HiGhDrA. Future rotating around. Looking for another way in. And he's going for the gas guys here at the natural. And behind this, 4th CC. Okay, so Future, he's taking into a Ghost Academy. He's throwing down the armory, getting to a 4th CC. Future, he's just trying to contain his opponent. But is he going to get caught out? HiGhDrA coming in for the surround. And Future, he will boost away. And remember, no blink. No blink, no Phoenixes. The Medivacs cannot be caught up with. And Future does get away. That was a scary moment there for Future, but he can lift back. Can just lift. Future for the boost. Meanwhile, HiGhDrA committing to a counterattack. Ooh, this is a risky maneuver here from HiGhDrA. He does have 3 Colossus, that's true. But he's only got 2 sentries. Like, the support for this army, it's still a little bit lacking here. 2-2 is almost done. I mean, the upgrades are looking quite impressive here for HiGhDrA because of the double forge. So he does have potential. HiGhDrA coming in. Just getting the Stalker. HiGhDrA rotating around. Upgrades are now done for HiGhDrA. Blink is now on the way. You know, Future, he's got plenty of ghosts, plenty of EMPs. But he does miss the main army. Uh-oh. Okay, now he spots it. Does spot it, goes to the scan. He wants a Colossus. No, they're exposed. Oh, does he get one? He does. Oh, barely not. The juggling, Pappy. Colossus take a lot of hits. The Zealot army crumbles. The EMPs were just a little bit too good. The Prism goes down. And HiGhDrA, he gets caught out. Initially saved the Colossus, but it didn't even matter. GG gets called, and Future takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Does take the first game here. Does take a lead in the series. HiGhDrA, he had a decent, an okay start, but if you remember, it was just one force field that wasn't able to lock down the ramp. It was in that moment, if you recall, in that first push where HiGhDrA lost 2 Colossus. The first 2 Colossus went down at the start of the game, and we spoke about how detrimental that was just because of the build of choice, just because of the opener of HiGhDrA. And again, he had sacrificed a lot to rush into Colossus, and to lose them, I mean, that's just a brutal position to be in for HiGhDrA. With that, he couldn't quite recover. I mean, I think there was maybe an opportunity to recover if he was maybe more defensive, but at the same time, the problem with that position is, even if he was being more defensive, Future is being greedy behind him. Remember, he already had a 4th CC on the way. Like, he would have snowballed out of control and maxed out anyway. It was kind of like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. I think HiGhDrA, who was maybe trying to catch Future, maybe being a little bit too greedy and maybe catch him out, but it's just a rough position to be in. Regardless, GG. With that, we're getting into game 2. We're going to be loading into Alkyone. Getting into Alkyone. Oh. Catching up with the chat. Is this live? The cast is live, but this is being covered via replays. No one knows the results of these matches other than the players and the players. Basically, only the players know the outcome. And I guess the organizer of the event, that is of course, I said the organizer, the admin and organizer, Eddie, who did give us the replay pack for this. But most of this event is going to be covered via replays. The tail end of the event is going to be covered live. Just because there are so many players that are being organized and so many players that have to play out their matches on a weekly basis. So this does make it a little bit easier to organize that and to get all the matches going. Is if they submit the replays to the organizer. But here we go. We're getting into game number 2, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alkyone, we have the red Protoss player from the land of the Netherlands. Down in the series, let's see if he can bounce back. It is HiGhDrA. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the American Terran player, the yellow Terran, representing Mandarino Esports. Once again, going for the proxy Rax. It is Future. And I'll get rid of the turtle. I'll get rid. Next game. I'll remember. I'll try. This is not the Tenacious Turtle Tussle. Is the OSC mid-season playoffs. Once again, the probe has arrived. We'll confirm that the Rax is missing. If you recall, HiGhDrA did an amazing job at shutting this down in game 1. We'll see if he can replicate that success here in game number 2. We shall see. We shall see, as we are going to be dipping in with the SCV. Can we set the bunker down? The bunker has been thrown down. Can we keep the SCV alive this time? Already a bit of a better position. The reason why is because there is a small section here where you can just protect the SCV in general. Is going to be safe from any probe harass. And already, this bunker is going to be getting up. I say that we do rush out the Zealot initially. Zealot has arrived, swipes away at the SCV, and the bunker is going to be denied. Reaper has made it. And we'll be able to get the probe up. First probe goes down. SCV comes back in. Let's go. SCV does dive back in. Again, trying to keep that Zealot busy initially, which means the bunker will complete. Oh, and just like that, Future will deny mining here on the low ground. The bunker is low though, so we do have to repair. So far we get a couple of repair cycles off, but the bunker is still, yeah, it's low, has to be salvaged. Is going to be shut down, the SCV as well. And HiGhDrA does defend, even without the shield battery. Impressive. Very impressive stuff. First Reaper's getting shut down, the stunner stepping. Oh my god. First Reaper does fall, but the second Reaper gets into the main. One probe has already fallen, second probe goes down. Oh, we're gonna get a third. The third probe, oh, the surround! Oh my god, once again, the surround is real. We shut down the Reaper, and that was a very nice defense here from HiGhDrA. Did lose 3 probes, but 3 probes for 2 Reapers, a salvage on a bunker, an SCV. Like, this was okay. It's pretty good. Pretty good start here. I mean, again, we had a good start initially from HiGhDrA last game when it came to shutting down the bunker, shutting down the proxy, but it's about the follow-up. This time, HiGhDrA going for not Robo, Twilight Council. Okay, it's going to be a Twilight Council, going to be Blink instead, not Robo into Colossus, and this can lead into 2 Gate Blink, 3 Gate Blink, or 4 Gate Blink Stalkers. If you were here yesterday, if you were watching HiGhDrA versus Vindicta, then you would know that in Game 1, HiGhDrA went Robo into Colossus, just like he did against Future, and in Game 2, HiGhDrA went 4 Gate Blink Stalker against Vindicta. So I'm curious if that's maybe his go-to kind of setup for a series. So we'll see if he does. Yep, there it is. Okay. HiGhDrA is playing the same way that he played against Vindicta yesterday. There you go. Against Minx. The same kind of builds for the series, I should say. Okay. And we'll see how Future can deal with this. Back at home, 1-1-1 into a 3-1-1 setup. Natural base being taken. And Future is going for the mine drop, but is going to be spotted. It's going to be zoned away. Mine shot going up. Nice catch. Blink isn't done. One Stalker goes down. Meanwhile, the other Widowmine will slip into the main, gets a full scout, does confirm the tech of choice, does confirm Blink. And the shot shouldn't get much done. No, they're retargeting! Oh my god. 2 probes. 2 more probes go down. That could have been so much worse, regardless. Nice value. Oh, but the medevac does go down. So a bit of a give and take. The Widowmine does get 1 extra worker, but the medevac did fall. As the Widowmine, the initial one has reset. This is the Widowmine that killed the Stalker. Is going to be scuttling in. And we'll scout the move out. We'll scout the Stalkers. Back at home, what is our defensive position looking like? We have 1 tank so far. Second tank is on the way. Bunker on the low ground. Low ground is looking secure. What about the main, though? The tank is still on the way, and HiGhDrA has potential to bypass the natural and blink right into the main base instead. Here we go. As HiGhDrA is going to be pushing in. The Raven! Oh my god! We need high ground vision! Bappy! We need to get closer! HiGhDrA does bait out the auto turret though. He does scare Future. And rotates the low ground instead. He's going for the blink. Goes for the dive. The tank is going to go down. Tank does get 2 shots. Bunker as well. But a second tank has arrived. And it does siege up in time. Does manage to siege. A lot of SCVs going down. That's going to be 6 SCVs so far. The tank, it's a little bit too far back. It's out of range. HiGhDrA getting a lot of damage. Goes for the dive. Gets another tank. Got 2 volleys off. Focusing on the Marauder as well. Marauder does fall. Do we have another auto turret? We do. Just barely. Future, he's surviving, but that's a lot of damage. He lost 2 tanks. Lost the Marauder. Lost the Raven as well. The bunker. 6 SCVs. Oh my god, and behind this, HiGhDrA is committing. He's not slowing down. That's more Zealots on the way. Third base has been thrown down behind this. The Prism! Where are we going? Oh, Prism goes down. That I'm not so sure was worth it. He will break the tank. The tank does fall, but the Bio Army is being cleaned up as well. A very close fight here. Goes for another blink, dives on the tank. Yeah, the tank does nothing. And HiGhDrA trying to trade as efficiently as possible. He will lose so much in the process, though. Or was it worth it? Looking at the trades, that was 15. Oh my, 15 Stalkers. 15 Stalkers for 4 tanks. I mean, now because the tank gun was reset, how do we counterattack? Right, like Future, he has nothing left. There is no army. Future is stuck at home, and that means HiGhDrA gets away with this third. The third base is going to get up and running. HiGhDrA will be able to saturate, build it up, and head into the mid game. Future doesn't really have a way to punish HiGhDrA or apply much pressure. There is one medevac. He could try to go for a drop, that's true, but if he moves out, he's vulnerable. And HiGhDrA is already back across the map. He's not allowing Future to move out and get comfortable. But maybe HiGhDrA should calm down a little bit. Maybe. So you pull back. Bay's on the way. Charge as well. HiGhDrA working towards Colossus. +1. Charge lots as well. HiGhDrA just has to maintain map control. And even then, we can see HiGhDrA racing back home just in case as well. Doesn't want to get caught off guard by any kind of drop play. The Observer does get eyes on the main army. Future does misclick for a moment there. Kills his own Marauder. But is moving out. The Observer does spot this. HiGhDRA's aware. It's on HiGhDRA to slow this down. To slow down the push. Slow down the attack. Does get one Marine. Ooh, a bit of miscontrol. One Stalker goes down. Behind this, we have a shield battery, we have an overcharge, we have sentries, we have force fields, and one Colossus. Is it enough? Tanks are boosting in. Oh no, the medevac! No! Ooh, medevac goes down. Tanks will siege up though. That was so close. Oh my god. Future, calm down. Tanks do siege. Volley's going off, but charge is done. And HiGhDRA's gonna shut down these tanks. 1, 2 tanks going down. And massive losses for Future. HiGhDRA does defend. Future still rallying across the map. Still trying to commit. Has a pretty respectable amount of Marauders. HiGhDRA has to pull back. Future getting his third CC on location. HiGhDRA does spot this with the Observer. HiGhDRA is aware. And once again, we can take a moment to breathe. Future taking up towards Ghost Academy, towards Ghost Production. HiGhDRA moving out. He spots the army. He feels confident. Should he? Second Colossus is on the way. With 2 Colossus, can HiGhDRA break this position? Potentially. It's hard to say. Marauders are quite tanky, depending on the response from Future. There we go. 3 sentries. We have force fields. We can slice this army up. And more sentries on the way. And with these extra sentries, I do think that HiGhDRA can break up this ramp. It's not going to be an easy hold for Future. Is down in supply. No bunker, no tank. HiGhDRA rotating over. And going for the Marauders. Let's get the first one. Boys are being pulled. The force fields, there we go. Do zone some of the army away. Charge also trying to break through. More boys being pulled as well. So many SCVs are falling, and it looks like HiGhDRA, he should have enough. Yeah, breaks through the Marines. GG gets called, and HiGhDRA ties up the series 1-1. We are going to the ace match. GG. GG, well played. Again, the initial 4-gate Blink Stalker did so much damage, and Future just wasn't able to minimize his losses. Remember, he lost 4 tanks, he lost his Raven, he lost a lot of SCVs, and because of that, it meant that he wasn't really able to counterattack. I mean, I say he wasn't able to counterattack, he did, but we saw how that went. we saw how well the counterattack did before him, and it was brutal, you know. Future, he lost both tanks, he lost the medevac, he bled out too many Marines, and it did leave him vulnerable to the eventual counterattack of his opponent, of HiGhDrA. So Future just being a little bit too aggressive, being a little bit too assertive there, when he otherwise should have maybe shown a little bit more restraint, especially after the initial damage dealt by those Blink Stalkers. And now, we have the ace match. Let's go. Let us go. We go. Share my baby, share my. HiGhDrA plays Protoss. HiGhDrA does play Protoss. UED Soldier also plays Protoss. Does it make sense? Don't worry about it. And here we go. We're settling into game number 3, the ace match. It all ends here. It all ends on GoldenEra. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of GoldenEra, we have our red Protoss player from the Netherlands. Representing himself, currently teamless, it is HiGhDrA. tying up the series and bringing it back. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the American Terran player, the Yellow Terran representing Match Arena Esports, being forced into a tied series once again, going for the proxy racks, the same opener every single game. And it's been a little bit lackluster every game as well. We'll see if it works out this time. It is Future. The Future has many things, and one of those things being, he's committed, man. He's committed, mate. You think he's gonna leave you for another build? God, I forgot about the logos mod. Next game. Oh god. Cut to the end of the broadcast in like 5 hours, and it's still there. Oh no. Not like this. Not like this, man. But Future's not going to leave you for another opener, not going to leave you for another build. No. Despite the hardships, despite the rocky road, Future, he's got you. Proxy game. Proxy racks even. Every time. Future. Let's go. Reaper's on the way. Would-be bunker as well. The probe scout does confirm that the racks is missing. And the mind games, right? It's like HiGhDrA, he's going to be thinking to himself, there's no shot that he goes for the proxy racks every game, 3 games in a row, right? No shot. Well, let me tell. Okay, this time, Future pulls back. Okay. So this time, it's not going to be as committed as Game 1 and Game 2. This time, there is no SCV for a bunker. It's just Proxy Reaper. There is no bunker to support on the low ground. This time, we haven't quite invested in that direction. Likewise, this is going to be better here because, hey, Future, he comes out on top of the mind games. What did HiGhDrA do? Made a Zealot. Made an early Zealot here, which would do amazingly when it comes to shutting down the bunker that does not exist. Instead, chasing down the Reaper instead. Reaper does get 1 probe. 1 probe goes down, and the Reaper will get out. Will attempt to get out. There we go. Second probe does full. Second Reaper has arrived. So far, so good. The Adept is having a hard time keeping up. Zealot out of position. And the Reaper does get into the main base once again. Does get into the mineral line. Can we get a 3rd probe? Oh, it's going to be difficult. We're going to be forced back. Second Reaper dipping in. Never mind. Second Reaper does threaten the natural low ground, but does not get into the main base. So HiGhDrA has defended. HiGhDrA does force back the Reapers. And we have our take of choice, Robo. Once again, just like Game 1, Robo opener out of HiGhDrA. Once again, this should be for fast Colossus. As Reapers, they dive into the main base, and they get behind the mineral line, and they will be able to scout the tech. Well, just barely. 1 Reaper goes down, the other does confirm the Robo. Big scout here from Future. That's all he needed, that's all he wanted. With 2 Reapers, he did want a little bit more, true. Did want some extra value. Lost mining time for 2 probes. Not bad. So Future does get something extra there. We'll head back home. The racks is floated back. We have our safety bunker. Getting into our 1-1-1 into what looks to be another mine drop. We go. Just waiting for that second winter mine, and the drop is zooming across the map. He's going to boost across. Meanwhile, HiGhDrA back at home. Going for the Robo into the bay into a 3-gate setup, double gas before expanding. So once again, really tech heavy. Once again, very safe play as well, as HiGhDrA does delay his 3rd by quite a bit to be a little bit more secure. Even going for a safety immortal first as well. Mine drop comes in, poison being pulled away. And the Widow Mines, ooh, they don't get much done. Ooh, the shot goes into the gas geyser. 0 probe kills. But that is a lot of lost mine time. The Widow Mine is still there, is still active. And it just keeps being unbarred and rebarred, and there we go. Finally, it's gonna go down. 0 probe kills, but lost mine time still does add up. It's okay. It's okay. Damage was dealt. Damage was dealt. On top of that, still no 3rd. Still no 3rd base from HiGhDrA. Again, heavily delayed. It should be on the horizon here, just far later than usual. Medevac boosts in, counts the gateways. Dropping into the natural. and does confirm the 3-gate setup, does confirm all 4 gases as well, is fully aware of the Colossus. So very nice scouting here by Future. I mentioned before that because there's no blink, the medevac does, well, it reigns free. Dropping into the main base, getting a probe. Gets a probe kill, scouts a Colossus. So very nice damage here from Future. And very nice scouting, more importantly. Okay, scouting. Back at home, we do have our 3-1-1 setup, building up tanks, marines, marauders already. And, jeez, it's going to be double forge before 3rd base as well. Ay. Now, this style, we'll see if HiGhDrA can get away with it. I mean, we saw in the last game that HiGhDrA was punished, and he lost 2 Colossus early on. I say last game. I'm referring to game 1. Here in game 3, it's very similar setup here. We are just taking up so much. Double forge, double upgrades, Twilight Council as well. Now we finally throw down the 3rd base, but this does mean that the typical economic edge that a Protoss player would have isn't really there. Future is ahead in the economy. Does have an economic lead, and HiGhDrA has so little to work with. This is the army. 3 sentries, a Colossus, and an Immortal, and 1 Stalker. That's all we have. Okay, 2nd Colossus has arrived. We need force fields. Like, the force fields have to be on point. If not, the game could just end. Here he goes for the sim. He sees. He wants it. He wants a Colossus. Force fields, they slow down the push. That's the first 2. And we have more. There are more force fields available, and they are necessary. There we go. 2 more sentries morphing in. Army rotates. There are order turrets available. The tanks are slowly pushing forward. Tanks are getting within range of the gateways of the Colossus. 3rd Colossus has arrived. Oh, he wants it. Oh, he thinks about it. Future thinks about the dive. More Desperation Warpins here from HiGhDrA. Yeah, this is going to be a very clutch hold here, a very clutch defense from HiGhDrA. We'll see if he can pull it off. Does have an overcharge if need be. Just the 1 shield battery though. 2nd gateway goes down. And we're waiting for reinforcements. Another tank is coming into the mix. 4 tanks. That's a lot of tanks. 5 gates on the way, but they're not ready yet. And you can see HiGhDrA, he's going to try and tank some shots with those Archons. Order turrets are thrown down. And the tank boys are insane. Oh my god, the army crumbles. The army just completely melts. HiGhDrA cannot keep up, not against this army. Yeah, the Colossus, the Immortals, everything crumbles here. Just too much greed out of HiGhDrA. Trying to get away with the bare minimum. And this is what the bare minimum looks like. It's gone, Spaffy. 1 Colossus left, boys being pulled. Vikings have arrived. The final Colossus will fall as well. Another Colossus coming in. But again, there are plenty of Vikings. Yeah, and with that, HiGhDrA has been broken. GG gets called, and Future will take the series 2-1. GG. GG, well played. Future will take it. Again, HiGhDrA, he is crazy with this playstyle. He did it against Vindicta as well, and I can definitely see the logic behind it, but I do think that it relies upon the Terran player being passive, right? If the Terran player was more passive, or if they had limited scouting information, that's another big thing. Bearing in mind, Future was so good at dipping with the Reapers, but also more importantly with the follow-up Widowmine drop. The drop wasn't really doing much damage. What was more important there was the scouting. Future, he was just keeping an eye on the gases, keeping an eye on the tech, on the production, on the lack of 3rd base. That told him everything he needs to know about how vulnerable HiGhDrA was going to be, and how committed Future intended on being there on 2 bases, and how much damage potential there would be with that push. And again, Future just identifying the weakness of HiGhDrA there and abusing it in a sense. And with that, congratulations, Future will take the series. Future will advance on to the next round. GG, well played. GG, well played. And HiGhDrA, just a bit too greedy. the greed, Pappy, the greed. Almost got away with it. Almost. And with that, we're now going to be getting ready for our 2nd series of the night. We're getting ready for Eva versus Mocha.